John Dramani Mahama and say ama concerned citizens, concerned Ghanaians, a message a mood to John Dramani Mahama. Or more actually saying Yame Adoma on the 7th of January. See to me as swelling in Viking Abusia and you may be on share on your clean up on share on your on far more on my Ghana because we shall send the economy aqua as economy near build to was and benefited. Nanado Dako Akofuado, and then the family and friends. Nanado Dako Akofuado, and then the family and friends. Just one but the economy say all Ghanaians and answer Ghana Nibia and benefited from, but it should benefit Akofuado and then the family and friends. Abusia now in somewhere dear Chile air banner said Yamea Domnasa or buy a Bank of Ghana Addison. On Bomodin answer the Nibajina Daka no Bisana non semba Kumienu. Efa a year 60 billion Ghana cedis or printed the Maya Kofuado. Send a Kofuado Baye, Nasan Sabeka says cannot or the abo or no one hobra any Nabusia and then the Nafo, send your baby scan or the family. Addison, a printed says Kaway at the Mayor John, at the sorry, at the Maya and another Daka Kofuado. Now this time around, almost she say a bandy baba, between my best Muna, a banya abano, a John Dramani Mahama. Esre se oba mbo modern say obeje sasika no na so bebisa eye Addison adokrantia mane e print sasika bebebewe edema na nado daka Akofuado ene na busua ene ne nafofo abusua ye nche ho ne yenko ne nkoti nsem no mo enchire mu embra ha eye be media GH so say dedika we na twa channel so ne dio kwanso be so modern subscribe my notification bell also for more podcast updates.
So once the economy was not being managed in a way that would benefit all Ghanaians, but rather was just benefiting Akufo-Addo and his family and a few people around him, then he knew that this day was always coming. It was always coming. Yeah, it was always coming. And they brought it upon themselves. But have you ever seen anything like this? That a president comes in and he makes his brother finance minister, Ghana borrows, and then your family gets a cut. Ghana borrows, then your family gets a cut. What nonsense. So it was always coming. The Ghanaians have been patient too. And you know, I didn't have patience for that. We should have kicked them out in 2020. Except that, you know, for so many reasons, of course. But now we are maturing. So next time we'll be looking to do 4 years, 4 years. And actually, at this stage, I'm beginning to subscribe to the school of thought that in 2020, NDC must have won the elections, but you know, this turning of votes and etc. But I'll leave that for another day. So the key is the economy. Like they say, is the economy stupid? Is the economy stupid? Meaning that that's the first point of call. Because if you are dying, how are you going to come out and support a party that's killing you? You remember the DDEP? We're giving haircuts left, right, center. You remember Professor Ejekum, Kama, Michael Ejekum, the owner of Kama Industries, right?
He's late now.
He's dead. He's dead. The bad policies have killed him. People's businesses have been what? Run down. Banking licenses revoked. Where the Dufours, other banks, Heritage banks, sovereign banks, etc. Yes, it's true. They did wrong things, right?
In some those fund management companies as well.
Yes, fund management, etc. They did wrong things, but usually because of jobs, etc., you look to do a restructuring or do policies in such a way that you save the bank so that you save people's jobs. But this government was just interested in killing opposition businesses. So you know that the Dufours are strong financiers of the NDC. So they thought that by bringing down Unibank, then NDC would be what? Starved of oxygen, and so they would never be able to return to power, etc. And many other businesses, right? Yeah, I know people, once they were perceived as NDC, they were targeted. So it's the economy that's number one. Then also, number two, is the bad governance. You know how we've sat here and complained about bad governance, you know, from day one. Akufo-Addo, and even the bad governance ties in with the bad management of the economy. Because you see how Bank of Ghana was forced to print 60 billion for the government when it shouldn't have been done. They didn't get the necessary parliamentary approval. They were supposed to inform Parliament, etc. They didn't. And so you remember at a point, I mentioned that, listen, the governor, Addison, couldn't have printed all that money for Akufo-Addo without benefiting. And I was asked to withdraw on this platform. And I told them, no, it's insane. From the norms of plausibility, if you see a governor printing plenty money for a government like that, the governor will benefit.
So
he said no.
They said that they did it to, as it were, save the economy at the time. Because of the impact of the DDEP. The Bank of Ghana, being the lender of last resort, had to absorb a bigger share of the impact. Other than that, the economy would have collapsed.
Good. I don't believe it because there were other ways of going around this. Now, do you remember that not long after that, Okudzeto came out with evidence that the governor was giving land, the dollar regions, is it cantonments, was giving land. So me, I knew it. Good land, that's money. You know how much a plot of land costs in cantonments, airports? You're looking at over $200,000. So I knew it because I knew that, listen, for a governor to be printing money like this for Akufo-Addo, he must be benefiting. Today, you see, so I can repeat it. Governor Addison, you benefited. Okudzeto is showing it. You've not denied. The Bank of Ghana came. They were now trying to give explanations that, oh, every governor gets it. Well, we don't have the case of the previous governors before us. Okay. What we have before us is that, Addison, you printed money for Akufo-Addo, and subsequently we found that you got land. That land that cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. And so you benefited. I'm sure that's even just a tip of the iceberg.
So would you want the next government to look into this?
Oh, absolutely. Hey, it's there. It's in the Mahama 120-day social contract, right? So that is what we should be looking at. Bank of Ghana has to be properly investigated. For all those things.
With the other one?
Yes.
You were diagnosing the issue?
Yeah, we're
No.
Okay.
No. You cancel, please.
Okay.
No.
I should continue. Okay, good. So now, apart from that, you would also find that over a period of time, you know, the JM factor, what happened is that with the way Akufo-Addo misgoverned, then it dawned on us that JM is a lesser evil. That's the plain truth. And you know, we had always been saying it here. You see, it's like, listen, you have a bigger evil, the MPP led by Akufo-Addo. Then you have a lesser evil, the NDC led by JM. So when things happen like that, naturally, we want to reduce our losses. We want to mitigate the harm that is being caused to us. So it's just rational that you go for the lesser evil. Because like I said in one of the videos that went viral, it's not as if Angel Gabriel was in this election. No, Gabriel was not standing election, all right? So there was no angel. We're left with two parties led by two human beings. So you look at it and you see that, hey, Akufo-Addo, you give him a third term through Bawumia and we'll suffer more pepper in our eyes. Okay, what they are already done is as if that's not enough. So voting for Bawumia meant that we're inviting more pepper, triple or quadruple pepper into our eyes. Who wants to do that? Or put it in another way, like the way we said, it's only a fool who allow somebody to step on his testicles twice. So these people haven't stepped on our testicles. Oh, it's not profane, it's true. No, when somebody is on your testicles, you feel it. You won't want to do anything that will let him come again and torment you, right? So it's just rational beings, okay, who would think to do things that will give us more benefit than harm. You reduce your losses, you reduce your pain, you reduce all the negatives. Mitigation. So mitigation, that's it. So these are largely, of course, we are not discounting the role that ethnicity and religion, those things play. Okay, but you know that from some of the researches, they usually would put that a bit below. But don't discount it. Don't discount it. You remember Owusu Bimpa, who supported Akufo-Addo. But in this election, no. Initially, he said Bawumia cannot be president. Then later, I'm sure they went to see him. So he recanted all of that. We don't know what happened. And then last minute, he went back to his original position. He said the Akufo-Addo boys were insulting him. And I watched one of the videos where Owusu Bimpa said, Yabeshe. True. And he was signaling to his church members not to vote for Bawumia. And other religious leaders say, no, don't vote for Bawumia. And Bawumia also actually attempting to be more Christian than Christians didn't help him. Yeah, he was trying to be more Christian than Christian, entering every church, going to every shrine. Apart from even being Christian, he was trying to be a traditional worshiper. Going to every shrine in Ghana. So when you enter too many shrines and churches, you annoy Muslims because listen, they complain. Even Chief Imam's aides, Arimiao. He said, no, what is Bawumia doing? They are religion. Be proud of your religion. Listen, me, it's just about what you offer on the table. You just came at the wrong time. God forbid, in 8 years' time, when we are looking for alternatives, and then Bawumia, because he helped Akufo-Addo in corruption and the way he himself is corrupt, I don't want him to be. But if to come back, Bawumia is equally corrupt.
If he's come back,
if in 8 years it turns out that maybe Bawumia's corruption now looks smaller than somebody's corruption, we will have to go back to Bawumia.
But should that be the criteria?
That's the number one thing. Listen, corruption distorts all the economic principles.
Saying if the corruption is lower than other, not that the person offering himself should be incorruptible. You're saying if the person is, the corruption is lesser than the other candidate, then we look for the other. Yes. Shouldn't we be aspiring for an incorruptible candidate?
Exactly. So meaning that if it turns out that all the candidates we have, at that time, we see that Bawumia's corruption is the least, he will win. Just like in this election, we saw. And in this election, please, viewers, I'm sure we've mentioned the data, but let's just repeat. In 2016, when we're going to the elections, we were using the 2015 Corruption Perception Index figure for Ghana. That year, 2015, JM got 470. And yet we touted him as the most corrupt president. He and his presidency, his ministers and they were so corrupt. Meanwhile, the mark was 47. Please Google it. In 2015, what mark did Ghana get for the Corruption Perception Index? And it's the most used one, right? We have accepted it in Ghana globally. There are other indices, but in Ghana, we have accepted the CPI, right? By Transparency International and Amnesty International Ghana, the Ghana chapter, etc. So we use 47. Now, going into election 2024, if you look at Akufo-Addo's Corruption Perception Index for 2023, it's at what? 43. 43. So, JM, who had 47 in 2015, which was used for 2016, the reason it happens is that each year's grade comes in the following year. Around March, February or March the following year. So 2024 like this, it will come next year. Yes, so we're using 47, and we said these were the most corrupt people, JM and his people, Sam George is here, etc. Right? And we booted them out. 2024, you are going to the election, and Akufo-Addo and Bawumia have 43. So naturally, you will not vote for Bawumia. It's rational to go for the man who had 47. And you know, let's repeat again, that since Akufo-Addo came, he and Bawumia, their highest mark has been 43. For the past 4 years, 2020, 21, 22, 23, they've been on 43, 43, 43. And coincidentally, that's the lowest mark that JM got. That's the 2016 mark, which came in 2017. So, and so many other things. The ambulance contract for Akufo-Addo's daughter and son-in-law and all those people. Come on. It was so nauseating. You're like, is that the power Akufo-Addo? Akufo-Addo who came and sat down. He's insulted every president. No president before him was ever fit for that office. It was always like, he's the best thing that's to happen to Ghana. That's how come I subscribe to the view that, yes, it's good, though it's painful, that he finally became president and now he's seen his real size. But except that Ghanaians have paid a very high price, because now look at the economy.
So you subscribe to the diagnosis of Atigya-BOG that disrespect, the system turned upside down, the arrogance of power, greed, selfishness, and Kenofriata being more powerful than the president.
Oh, absolutely. But the president was now telling chiefs to get up and greet him. Then he told the chief of Aplau, when the chief mentioned that E-blocks that JM had constructed were abandoned, so he should come and complete them. He said, that's why he told the Ohine, right? And many other chiefs. You remember the Ekumfi area, when they came, Akufo-Addo could look them in the face and say he denied the people development because they didn't vote for his candidate. Is that not so? Ekunfi, you remember?
Yes.
Yes. If the producer, Abdallah, if you want to play the tape.